Thanks, Rick. Well, it's been an honor for me. Rick actually invited me to help him out with the book, to help write the book. And at the very outset, we weren't really sure, about some of our crazy ideas about actually exposing ourselves to all of the chemicals that we did through the book. And one of our rules was that we would basically only do things that the average person does. So we're not like sitting in vats of chemicals, or you always see those studies where they say, well, it'd be the equivalent of a rat smoking 600,000 cigarettes a day or something. So like it was none of that. We actually we used regular body products. I ate a whole lot of tuna over a couple of days. Rick was using very fragrant body care things. It was quite pleasant for him. And but we had these like really striking results. So I was able to almost triple my mercury levels in a 3-day period just by eating a bunch of tuna meals. Rick's, what was your phthalate levels went up?
Well, so I usually try to, both for the kids and for myself, I usually try to choose unscented personal care products. And so for a couple of days, I sought out the smelliest shampoos, shaving gel, underarm deodorant, like things I never knew that a man could wear.
Probably shouldn't.
And over that 2-day, but not, as Bruce says, nothing outrageous. Off-the-shelf products that we got at our local Loblaws or whatever, things that millions of Canadians would be using. And my levels of monoethyl phthalate, which is very strongly linked with reproductive problems, especially in guys, and developing systems in little boys. My levels of that chemical went up 22 times just in 2 days, just by switching up shampoo and what have you.
You do have a certain glow.
I'm still coming down off the high.
So, and for many of these chemicals, everyone I think associates these things with cancers, but as we were doing the research on these different substances, we found more and more that cancer is certainly one of the problems. Every single chemical that we tested is a likely carcinogen or a known carcinogen. But what we're seeing now more and more are the links to what we call the childhood epidemics, things like obesity, autism, attention deficit disorder. These are things that are now all linked to these synthetic chemicals. We're seeing exponential increases in these diseases among kids. They're not very well explained. The medical community doesn't know how to research them, how to understand them. None of the chemicals are being tested for these things right now. So that's part of the, I think, the scary part of doing the work and really realizing how kids are seriously at risk to minute amounts of these chemicals that they might be exposed to as a developing fetus or as small children. So, and we're talking parts per billion, parts per trillion that have been shown to cause some of these effects. But we try not to get too lost in the doom and gloom of the story. It is quite hopeful. We interviewed active doctors around North America, community activists, as Rick said, mothers active in their communities. And for virtually every chemical that we're working on, we're seeing positive changes. We're seeing governments react. We're seeing communities make changes. We're seeing regulations, pesticide bans, bisphenol A ban. So in that way, the work that many of you do in this room every day, working on these issues, we can say quite unequivocally is making a difference. So part of our book is really to encourage people to ask questions, to be active in their communities, to hold their political leaders accountable for these things, and so we hope you'll enjoy the story and continue to be as active as you all are.